took the idols that Micah and them, because Micah was an idol worshiper. He had his own gods.
And we have to be clear. We're saying Dan, but specifically it says, and the children of Dan. But we need to understand that that still represents Dan.
Come on, prophet.
And they took the things which Micah had made, and the priests which he had, and came unto Laish, unto a people that were at quiet and secure, and they smote them with the edge of the sword, and burnt the city with fire.
Now, this is Dan, the children of Dan, right? Not happy with the portion of the land that was given to them by Joshua. They captured the city, right? They overtook that city. They smoked that city with the edge of the sword, and they named that city Dan, okay? Now, this is history that even our reporter wrote about, Josephus, all right? This city is in the Greek Isles. They took this city, okay? Keep going, prophet.
Verse 28, and there was no deliverer, because it was far from Zidon, and they had no business with any man, and it was in the valley that lieth by Beth Rehob, and they built a city and dwelt therein.
And they dwelt therein. Dan, the children of Dan, they built the city. Come on.
And dwelt therein. And they called the name of the city Dan, after the name of Dan their father, who was born unto Israel. Howbeit the name of the city was Laish at the first.
At the first. Keep going.
And the children of Dan set up the graven image, and Jonathan the son of Gershom, the son of Manasseh, he and his sons were priests to the tribe of Dan until the day of the captivity of the land.
Now, what is priest doing? Dan is not a priest. That was Levi's job. So Dan took idols. Dan took over a peaceful city here, all right? And they named the city after their father, but they was wicked. They was doing wicked, right? This is what Dan did. So for this, Dan got ostracized from the 12 tribes. He separated himself. That's what he did. Okay, go back over to Genesis chapter 49, prophets.
Verse 16. Dan shall judge his people as one of the tribes. Verse 17. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse's heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. I have waited for thy salvation, O Most High.
O Most High. I have waited for that salvation, O Most High. Prophets, bring up the article you have on Josephus. There's an article. Now, Josephus is our news reporter, our Anderson Cooper for iniquities containing the Jews. What's the title of that right there?
The Spartan Lacedaemonians.
The Spartan Lacedaemonians. The Lacedaemonians were Greek, right? And the Apocrypha talks about this. This is part of the scriptures that's not in your Bible. It's not recorded. Prophets, read that article there.
There is good evidence to the effect that the Macedonian Greeks were Israelites.
Were who?
Were Israelites.
Were Israelites. Come on.
Josephus has recorded an exchange of letters between a remnant of this section of the ancient Greeks and the Jews in Palestine during the period of the Maccabees, in which the Israelite descendant of the Lacedaemonians is definitely established. And it can be found in the Antiquities book, chapter 12 and 10, and also in First Maccabees, chapter 12.
Now, brothers and sisters, we encourage you to get all of our records because it initiates who we are as a people, it's our history. It belongs to us. What's the name of that book? The Antiquities what?
The Antiquities. And then it's found in the book of Antiquities.
Okay.
In chapter 12, verse 10, and also can be found in First Maccabees, chapter 12.
All praise to the Most High. We're going to go into the Maccabees. We got that in the Apocrypha, all right? But we're going to see what the Maccabees have to say about. We're going to see what the Apocrypha has to say about the Lacedaemonians. We know they were Greek, but they were Spartans, all right? Our people has always took on names according to where they lived, right? Michiganders, Southerners, all of that. We always took on names, but it doesn't change the people who they are, okay? Prophets. Let's go into the Apocrypha, okay? Let's go into First Maccabees, chapter 12. But even before you do that, I want to get some backstory on the narrator of this chapter. This is Jonathan, a high priest of the Maccabees, sending out letters to his brethren. Okay? Prophet, you got anything else up here? Let's see what you got here for...
Oh, you talking about Jonathan?
Yeah. Yeah. Let's give us a good definition on Jonathan here.
Jonathan Aphas was the leader of the Hasmonean dynasty of Judea from 161 to 143 BCE. That's before Christ.
Right.
The name Aphas means the diplomat.
The diplomat. So he was a political diplomat for his people. Right. Okay. All right. So that's a little history on Jonathan. This is who Jonathan was, okay? He was a high priest for Judea at this time, right? So let's go into the first book of Maccabees, chapter 12. We're going to have the prophets read verse 1. So, brothers, we got to understand on what Dan did, how they separated themselves, but we're still bringing out why they're not counted among the 12 tribes in the book of Revelation. Okay, Dan picked up idol worship and false god worship early on. Okay, and they knew who the Most High was or is, right, Prophet?
Now, when Jonathan saw that time served him, he chose certain men and sent them to Rome to confirm and renew the friendship that they had with them. He sent letters also to the Lacedaemonians, to the Lacedaemonians and to other places for the same purpose.
Okay.
So they went unto Rome and entered into the Senate and said, Jonathan, the high priest, and the people of the Jews sent us unto you, to the end ye should renew the friendship which ye had with them, and league as in former time. Upon this, the Romans gave them letters unto the governors of every place that they should bring them into the land of Judea peaceably. And this is the copy of the letters which Jonathan wrote to the Lacedaemonians.
Okay.
Jonathan, the high priest, and the elders of the nation, and the priests and the other of the Jews, unto the Lacedaemonians, their brethren, send greeting.
Wait a minute. They're what? They're what? Their brethren?
Their brethren, send greetings. There were letters sent in times past unto Onias, the high priest, from Darius, who reigned then among you, to signify that ye are our brethren, as the copy here underwritten does specify.
Now, brothers and sisters, we know that there's a distinction between when you say brother or just brethren or like that. We can be brothers on the street, or you just say that common word brethren. No, as we read more and more on this, you're going to find out that this is a deeper brother than just a friendship brother. Okay, Jonathan has given permission for these letters to go out to gather those that are of the household of faith, right, back to himself. So come on, prophet.
There were letters sent in times past unto Onias, that's verse 7, the high priest from Darius, who reigned then among you, to signify that you are our brethren, as the copy here underwritten does specify. At which time Onias entreated the ambassador that was sent honorably and received the letters, wherein declaration was made of the league and friendship. Therefore, we also, albeit we need none of these things, that we have the holy books of Scripture.
The holy books.
That we have the holy books of Scripture in our hands to comfort us. Have nevertheless attempted to send unto you for the renewing of brotherhood and friendship, lest we should become strangers unto you altogether. For there is a long time past since ye sent unto us.
Now, this was something because the Macedonians were known for their warmanship. Macedonia, Spartan, they defeated who, brothers and sisters? The history tells us that they defeated Athens. Okay? Athens is known throughout iniquity about who they were as a people. Sparta defeated them. Antiquities. Sparta defeated Athens. Okay? So they had a good reputation of being vigilant men of war. Come on, prophet.
Verse 11, we therefore at all times without ceasing, both in our feasts and other convenient days, do remember you in the sacrifices which we offer, and in our prayers, as reason is, and as it becometh us to think upon our brethren.
Now, what is all of this? See this ties here? You understand what he's saying? We remember you in our feasts because you was a part of that. And you're not strangers to us. We want peace, but you're our brother. He keeps saying brethren. It's deeper than this neighborhood brother, somebody you see on the street. No, this is something deeper. Keep going, prophet.
Verse 12, and we are right glad of your honor. As for ourselves, we have had great troubles and wars on every side, for so much as the kings that are round about us have fought against us.
The Maccabees is telling them. The Maccabees is telling them. Okay, come on.
Howbeit we would not be troublesome unto you, nor to others, for our confederates and friends in these wars. For we have help from heaven that succoureth us, so as we are delivered from our enemies, and our enemies are brought underfoot.
Now Josephus is telling them, hey, you know what? The Most High is helping us. But you're our brother. You're our physical brothers on this planet, and we don't want to come in conflict with you, but we got trouble around, with kings around us. They are pressing us on every side, but the Most High is helping us, sustaining us. Come on.
For this cause, verse 16, for this cause we chose Numius, the son of Antiochus, and Antipater, his son of Jason, and sent them unto the Romans to renew the amity that we had with them, and the former league. We commanded them also to go unto you, and to salute, and to deliver you our letter concerning the renewing of our brotherhood.
Now that's brotherhood right there. He was saying brethren up top. That brethren can get mistaken. They don't have to be bloodline. That was just brethren. This says brotherhood, right? Come on.
Wherefore now ye shall do well to give us an answer thereto. And this is the copy of the letters which Onias sent. Aries, king of the Lacedaemonians. Aries, king of the Lacedaemonians, to Onias, the high priest. Greetings. It is found in writing that the Lacedaemonians and Jews are brethren, and that they are of the stock of Abraham.
They are of the stock of Abraham. That's what I want to stop at. What do you mean stock of Abraham? The seed of Abraham.
That's right.
They're brothers. The Lacedaemonians was Hebrews. Okay? And we know that the Lacedaemonians is another name for Spartans. All right? That was a land, Lacedonia, and they defeated the Athens. Okay? This is what we're bringing out, that the Lacedaemonians were the Spartans. That movie 300, when you look at the original artwork from the movie The 300, those are black people in the book.
So you're saying they're Dan?
They're Dan. Okay?
So
that is Dan.
All right.
All right? Because Dan is the only brother that fell off. That didn't keep close ties with the other brothers. So there was many attempts to get Dan to renew and come on back. All right? But Dan stayed out on the way of ships. He stayed out with those people. All right. So there is a lot of history concerning Dan. You see different monuments, different artwork, different history things that you can pull up on Dan, or what we would say the Spartans, because we know who they are as Dan, but they would say Spartans. Look it up, brothers and sisters. Go through some of the museums. Do some of the research. You'll find a lot of history on the Spartans, okay? All right. Prophetess. The Testament of Dan. All right, the Testament of Dan. Now, brothers and sisters, this is only found in the Pseudeographica, written by and edited by R.H. Charles. It's the Apocrypha and the Pseudeographica of the Old Testament, Volume 2, the Pseudeographica. Okay? Prophet, why don't you spell that word?
Pseudeographa.
I couldn't spell it if I wanted to.
Why? You're looking at the letters.
The P is silent, right?
Yes, it is.
All right.
Why couldn't you spell it? You're looking at the letters. You mean say it?
I can say all praises to the Most High. But brothers, look, we touched on a little bit of Dan here. We're going to go into his testament. What was the testament that Dan left to his children? Okay? Let's get it.
And you can also find the Testament of the 12